This is my pick for the best $100 phone you can buy in 2023, and it's the Pixel 4a. I know that may be shocking as this phone is well over 2 years old, and you do have to buy it used to get it at this price. But there's very compelling reasons to go for the older used phone route as opposed to the new phones I've historically picked for my best phone at $100 videos. But compared to options like those, the Pixel 4a will get you a better software experience, a faster chip, a better screen, and a much better camera. So let's break down all the stuff this phone has going for it. First, by virtue of being a Pixel, the 4a offers an excellent software experience to this day. Android 13 on here brings a very solid feature set, is aesthetically on point, and runs functionally fast on this phone. By functionally fast, I mean navigating the UI, performing day-to-day tasks, and switching between apps is all effortless. It is important to note there's occasional hiccups and glitches because the Snapdragon 730G and 6GB of RAM that power this phone are far from a high-end combo these days, but again, that doesn't reduce functionality at all. There's also no crazy fluidity you get with a high refresh rate screen, as the Pixel 4a bottoms out at 60Hz. To prepare for this video, I switched to the Pixel 4a from the Pixel 7 Pro, a $900 phone with a flagship chip and high refresh rate screen, and to be honest, it took about a week to get used to the Pixel 4a's less flashy type of performance. That's actually super impressive, and overall, I'll say the Pixel 4a has some of the best performance period for $100. Next, let's talk about the screen. The Pixel 4a has a 5.8-inch 1080p Plus screen that uses OLED tech. 1080p Plus is a good resolution still used in flagships these days, and the screen's been tested up to 800 nits max brightness, which isn't bad at all. One of my most regular uses of this phone has been scrolling Twitter while waiting for the bus back home from class, and the 4a definitely passes that usability in bright sunlight test. The screen also covers about 83% of the front of the phone. Now let's talk about the camera. Before I start dumping praise on this 12-megapixel main Google's been optimizing since 2019, let's take a sec to say that no ultra-wide lens and no telephoto is a bit modest these days. Do it that way you will, understanding you'd probably lose main camera quality if you went for a different option with more lenses. But I think the main camera is the real focus for most people, pun intended, so let's give the Pixel 4a some well-deserved credit here. The camera sensor in this phone is the same as the winner of Marques Brownlee's most recent blind smartphone camera test, so I think it's safe to say these snaps are the absolute best you can get for the price, and some of the best you can get period. I'm a fan of the contrast and colors in daylight photos and of night sight, which produces especially great photos, considering this isn't particularly advanced camera hardware. So kudos to Google for developing a software layered to the 4a camera that holds its weight in 2023. And as far as video goes, the up to 4K 30fps video is definitely usable in 2023 with good sharpness and stabilization. But it's also not as spectacular as the photos, as noise creeps in pretty easily, with exposure and focus adjusts that can be inconsistent. Overall, I think this phone's photo and video quality are better than 90% of phones at its price, of course including older phones that have dropped in price. Lastly, let's talk some miscellaneous aspects of the Pixel 4a that are less compelling than what we've already covered with the software, chip, screen, and camera. First, with my model, the Fingerprint Reader has become unreliable, so I have to use a pin, but this is an issue with my 4a and not necessarily universal. What is universal is the 3140 mAh battery that doesn't hold up too well these days. A heavy user could absolutely drain this battery twice in one day. The Pixel 4a is also just about done with guaranteed software updates. And lastly, this phone seems to be hard to repair as I had an issue with the screen falling off after getting it fixed twice. It could also be that the repair people are just bad as I eventually glued the screen on myself to fix the problem once and for all. I can't give myself too much praise though, as I did lose the earpiece grill during the repair. Okay, all things considered, I think the Pixel 4a at $100 used is the best phone you can pick up if this is your budget. I really liked this phone when I bought it in 2020, I liked using it in 2023, and I think you'd be very happy with it too, especially at the price. I'll drop links to the cheapest listings from the most reputable sellers on eBay down below, so feel free to do some shopping starting from there. Subscribe if you want to make my day, and I'll see you later.